So it is the next thing that Ayatollah, you know, how I can say, we have in our Iranian history a king by the name of Zahhak. He's the guy that, what you got to start, was not a bad king, but one day they say Satan come and kiss him here and on his shoulders. And two snakes come out of these, what you call it, these kiss places. And these snakes, the king should have, every night he should have brought 10 young people that these snakes bite, you know, and eat, or I don't know what. You know, there are many of religious people enemies, many of Iranian Islamic Revolution, many enemies of Taliban, many enemies of other religious people want to make you such people. Many enemies of Iranian Revolution Guard, many enemies of what you call it, Ershad, moral police of Iran. They want to make you like that. They want to make, they are Zahhak-makers. They even now, since my childhood until now, they want to make me Zahhak. And do I kill? Yes, of course, but I am the prophet. And the God himself, Allah himself, killed for me, because of me. And so it is, you must find there is God, and Rasulullah is in the top, and I am the Rasulullah. We are in the top, we are God, we are Allah, and you are not, you know. In an earthquake, in a tsunami, we kill 350,000 people. In Turkey earthquake, we kill 50,000 people. We can, because Allah, we are the creator. We are Allah. But you cannot do that. You want, you know, religious leaders and what you call it, Ayatollah or Hujjatul Islam and so on, they say many story about Imam Ali. And they say one day he has killed a lot of enemies too, but whomever he has killed, he killed for God, for Allah. And one day when he was to kill one of his very worst enemies, he spit Imam Ali in his answer, in his face. And he became very, angry. He wanted to kill, but he stopped. And they say, why you stop? You have him ready to get killed. He said, no, I am angry. And if I kill him right now, it is because I am angry. And I have killed him of my own anger. I do not want to kill anyone for my own anger. I want to kill him for Allah. Then when his anger calmed down, he go and kill him. You talk to every people, you tell about Imam Ali to every people, to learn from him. While at the same time, you shot an airplane with 100 people down and kill them all. Where is that story of Imam Ali and this killing 100 people? It is, it is the things that I say that leadership has got out of hand of Ayatollah Khamenei. And, for example, in last, what you call it, ceremony of Ayatollah Khomeini, suddenly this ceremony, instead of being a ceremony of Khomeini and like Abraham, be against kings and so on, this ceremony has become what you call it, shouting and so on for why you do not take Oman, the Amir as its Sultan, as Sultan of Oman, as Sultan of Oman. It is, so it is totally, when even the ceremony of Ayatollah Khomeini, ارتحال Ayatollah Khomeini, as Iranians say, become hippie pura for kings, forcing others to accept him as king. It is some garbage, And another thing I just remember, once I told, media and so on, like Iranian TV and Iranian radio and Iranian newspapers and so on, well, there are many, many enemies of revolution, or use these media, and whenever you say why you are, this way that you are running, it is totally Westly and so on, they say no, we want people to not look through satellite and so on, all these Iranian channels that are in US and so on. We want our program be as interesting as them. So if you want to put the same garbage in people's head, so what is different between you and them? It is it is wrong. The total, in case of media and TV and so on, and acting and music and so on, it is something that is known since David and Suleiman. And David, as you have heard, he played music and so on. And he was an actor. David's family was actor. David acted as when a true prophet come on power. He ruled like that, and he made the temple and so on. And after that, the youngest, Solomon, is the youngest son of David, and the son of him with the most loved one, woman. So he became the next prophet. It was what Solomon and David was to say, was to act. And when such true prophet lead us, when such true prophets rule on us, we become so rich, so powerful, and so on, and God is with us, and so on. And music and acting and so on is all from that time. And act is acting, it is not real. True prophet, true one that inherited, it is me. Neither there is any act in it, nor there is any music in it, or anything else. It is me, you know. But acting, look at your own, what you call it, movies and so on about the true prophets and so on. See how the actor acted so beautifully, a prophet. You know, that is acting. This ugly face is the real, you know. And, you know, in general, art and so on, it is not the right way of religion, you know. It is a fantasy of right thing. It is not real thing. Right thing must be real thing. There is, you know, Taliban with their standing on Islam as it was, has learned us some of these things, you know. What is different between the true thing or acting, you know. While in the opposite side, we see that Iranian revolution, Iranian religious leaders become more and more acting, more even recently, Ayatollah Khamenei has said, you know, those people who has got mortal, has gave their lives for Islam and revolution and Iran, their, what you call it, movies and art and so on should keep them alive. It is wrong thing, you know. It is totally wrong thing. They should, you know, they have gave their life for that for real. They are dead for real. They are not acting. And future generation must be like them, must fight, must, what you call it, they should not be accept to and say okay to Allah and so on, because 100 years ago that guy that is in TV movie die and so on, he died for God and Islam and so on. It is wrong. The youth of 100 years in future must himself get killed for Allah. You know, it is the way that it is. It is the real life. Life in movies and art and so on, it is wrong. You know, this, there was young people, they say, youth people of 90 or and so on, and children, they have, they sing a very beautiful song and so on, with music and so on, and in this music, I think is, we are obey to you, leader, or something like that. We take your order, and so on. And in there it is about Ayatollah Khamenei and so on. And he support this. He should have not support this, you know, even. You know, there was once that in, what you call it, in radio and TV news, website and newspapers and so on, they called, what you call it, Ayatollah Khamenei Excellency and like, what you call it, Royal One or this or that, like these things. He should have said, no, you are not allowed to call me anything more than Ayatollah. You know, it is. He should have stopped this thing. Why they say, you know, these things? excellency and royal and majesty and so on, it is because they want to put in people's head to know someone as king. And tomorrow they call Pahlavi your majesty. Ayatollah Khamenei know that, and he should have strongly standed against them. And when I say these, there is something I'm not good in these things. When I want to say, I say only the right things, the failed things, while in fact Ayatollah Khamenei has many good sides and has had many victory, brought many victory, many guidance. I do not say that, but it does not, when I say what he has failed, it does not mean that he was a, bad leader in these years. Well, doubtless, in case of myself, once in about 2000, I have made a videotape and took to Iran. And on that videotape, I said that I want to cooperate and, learn with, at his side, and I am the Imam Zaman and so on and so on. But I have got no response, and it is a fail from his side. But between Ayatollah Khamenei and his enemies, like all those, like the government and the past government and Zarif and Pahlavi side and left and right side, against all those, I am on such cases with Khamenei, But as a leader, I think he cannot get rid of these people. He has become an element that helps his own enemies. And it is wrong. There is need for a new, a new power that, like Taliban, stand on the true Islam, stand on the true Islamic revolution, and fight all these back, and they get back, You think they do not get back. They recently in Iran, for example, Ayatollah Khamenei has said that some people, they live together, and in Iranian language they call it white marriage. Means they are, they are not married, but they live together. And he said it is not good and so on, why they do not marry. And it was, politically, it was at the time that there was talk about Oman and Saudi Arabia and so on. And media has said, no, it means that Ayatollah Khamenei want, for example, Ben Salman as officially King of Saudi Arabia, or Amir of Oman as King of Oman, and this as King of this, and not just right now, because there is no other way, the people, they are not really king, because Imam Zaman does not accept such things, or people Muslims does not accept that. And in case of people that living together, it should not happen in Islam. In general, it should not happen. And in case of hijab and so on, it is 40 years that we have Islamic Revolution in Iran. And in these 40 years, all those girls that want to show their hairs, and so on, and to go without hair cover and so on, they are all has got born in Islamic Republic. So the wrong is with the own Islamic Republic. And once I said that why they do not use censor and so on, why Ershad does not take over Iranian radio and TV, because these things that they are saying, they send people to rank. And Ayat Khamenei say, at the time, I have read some about his work. At the time that everywhere in the world they talk about freedom and so on, or they want, he did not say directly me, but he said they want us to, use censor and stuff, but we do not do that and so on. You see right now what happened. You do not censor them. You let them to I look this side because my TV is here. And you let them to misguide people, fool people, and and it is what happened. They want, and they want to go without Islamic dress and so on. And if you had raised them right, it would have not happened that they want not to be the way that Islam wants them. There is something natural. Always mankind, and even animals are like that. We want to be in a way that we have any benefit in that. Things that we do not have benefit in, we do not want to be. So if she see any benefit in not looking Islamic girl, so there is something wrong with the society. Society has become so wrong that he has no benefit in looking Islamic. So you should change the society in a way that when she look Islamic, she get benefit of that. It is, it is the things that go in Islam or out of Islam or everywhere else. People should have benefit. But, of course, you can give benefit to TV people, to to art people, to act people, to singing people, to music people, and the commercial you. But as a Ayatollah, as a religious man, that they send people to ground. So instead of using the money on them, you should use the money on something that change the change the flow in a way that being religious, having more benefit for people. than not being religious, being true religious, being true trust in Allah, God, that being what you call it has benefit for people, not just having a beer and what you call it, looking that you are very Muslim and so on. That is what you call it, surfacely does not hold. It did not hold for Vatican. It did not hold for Christians. It did not hold for Jew. And it would not hold for Shia Muslims or Sunnat or all other people, all other religions. The only thing that holds is true trust. I have wrote a lot, but I hope my website get faster, what you call it, and I can make it and put these in my website. And I wish this Eid be Mubarak and good for all Muslims. And I hope in the next Eid, we, all of us, or most of us, or more of us, like Taliban, being happy for we, what you call it, have reached a real success. We stand, here in Denmark, they have a, what you call it, ceremony that in this, they call it the big prayer day. And on that big prayer day, it is the day that they become Christian. And they promise that they fight for kingdom of God. And suddenly, Danish government said this day should not be holiday any longer, because we need this money that we use on this day. We want to use it on military and so on. And I defended, I have wrote something in my website, and I defended Christians. I said, whatever you give God, whatever you give Allah, it is not to take back. If you call a day Yomullah, if you call a day, you call a place mosque or whatever else, it belongs to Allah. It is something that Muslims should know to. If you give a place to, for example, a rich guy give a place to make a mosque and so on, whatever that you give to Allah, it is Allah, finished, Even when you make a mosque and so on, well, the mosque is mosque of, for example, maybe they put it, your name, that the mosque that you have made. But the mosque itself, inside the mosque, there should not be picture of anyone, even picture of Ayat Khamenei or picture of any other. Those areas